and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give my non-spoiler review for The Batman. So this film was directed by Matt Reeves, who also directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War of the Planet of the Apes, Let Me In, which is a remake of Let the Right One In, a horror movie, and he did The Cloverfield. It stars Robert Pattinson as Batman stroke Bruce Wayne, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman Selina Kyle, Jeffrey Wright as Lieutenant Gordon, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Andy Serkis as Alfred, and Paul Dano as the Riddler. So, a synopsis for this movie is: when the Riddler, a sadistic serial killer, begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. So, I will give my likes and dislikes in a minute, but I'll give my first of all overall view. Really good film, really a brilliant film overall. Excellent visuals, direction, etc. It is probably the closest we're going to get of how dirty and corrupt and filthy Gotham City is. It is. It's a dark movie most of the time. It's not many light moments in the movie and all that. Like visually, it's mainly most in the night, etc. But yeah, overall, really good movie. It's kind of based off, if you read the comics, a bit off, like loosely based. They're not totally based off these, but Batman Earth 1, alternative timeline for Batman, where similar to this, where Alfred's the one who kind of trains him. You don't really hear about him going away and all that, and more of the corruption with his family, with his father especially, going for becoming mayor, who gets killed before he becomes mayor. And the end is a little bit reminiscent of Year One. It is the New 52 Year One, but only a smidge. It's not, doesn't exactly take much out of that comic, but if you watch the movie, you kind of know what I mean. It is. So I will go on to my likes and dislikes. So I'll do my dislikes first of all, because it's only a couple, and they're not really major. First of all, it's the length of the movie. I personally think it was too long. It is, you know, it's nearly hitting 3 hours with the credits. It is, so a little less than that. Yeah, it was like parts of the movie where you kind of get like a nice ending, but then it kind of goes on for like another 15-20 minutes. It does, and which is the third act, which is kind of my other little nitpick, is not the strongest third act in the Batman movies, unfortunately, but it was still good. But I wanted a little bit more. I did. Obviously other people are gonna say other things. Like, if you liked it, that's great. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. This is just my little opinion. I'm not right, nobody else is right, but you know, it's your own opinions. So the length of the movie and the third act were a couple of nitpicks. My only other nitpick in the movie as well, I don't know whether anyone else has picked it up, but the characters talk really slow in it in some parts and all, and it really did bug me. It did, especially with Gordon and Batman and all that. They talked really slow when they're talking to each other and that. Yeah, it kind of bugged me a little bit through the movie, but when the movie was going and going, I kind of got used to it in the end. I did. But they're kind of my only, like I said, little few nitpicks. You can't say this. I say they're dislikes, because I'll just put them under that column. But, you know, they're just tiny little nitpicks of that movie. The pluses on the movie is pretty much everywhere, everything else. I love the visuals of the movie. I love the cinematography, the direction by Matt Reeves. I love Matt Reeves as a director. I think everything he's done brilliant. Oh, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes. Brilliant movies. Even Let Me In, which, you know, some people will say it's not as good as Let the Right One In, but personally I've seen them both, and I say it's on a par with it, to be honest myself. I think it's a really good movie, especially the visuals. He definitely knows how to do the visuals for Matt Reeves there. I think he's a perfect director for the Batman. The actors, I like Robert Pattinson's more angrier, you could say, angrier Batman, to be honest. You saw a little bit of it in Batman Begins with the Nolans, one where Bruce Wayne doesn't care about his legacy, etc. But I think Robert Pattinson, this Batman, does it a lot better, in my opinion. I'm not saying this movie's better than the Nolans ones. I think the Nolans ones are a little bit better, film-wise and all that. But this one, it's damn close to being up there with them. It is. Like I said, Zoe Kravitz is one of the standout stars of this movie. Her and Colin Farrell are the definitely the standout stars, I think, in this film. I think she plays a perfect Selina Kyle Catwoman that I've read in the comics, especially with, if you go back to year one, Frank Miller's year one, that type of Selina and that, and a bit of like in some of the Jeff Loeb's ones as well, like the Long Halloween, etc. And I think she plays her absolutely perfect, and she's brilliant, and her fighting style in it is excellent as well. Like I said, Colin Farrell as the Penguin is, again, a scene stealer when he's on the screen. I think he's really, he's similar to what you saw in the Arkham games and all that, with that type of Penguin and that. And the car chase with him, which you've seen in the trailers, is definitely probably one of the best scenes in the movie. The other supporting characters, like Jeffrey Wright as Gordon, does a really good job as Gordon. You got John Turturro, who plays Carmine Falcone. He does an excellent job. Andy Serkis as Alfred. He's not in it a lot, but he does a good job for what he's in it. He helps Bruce Wayne Batman out with a few of the riddles and that as well, so he's not just in the background, he actually is helping out in that. There's a couple of others as well, like Jamie Lawson, who plays Bella Real, who's going for the mayor's job. She's good. Like I said, the acting in this movie is brilliant and all that, and all the main stars do their job, and all the bit part ones do a great job as well. It is. The visuals in this movie I absolutely love. I'd love to see a behind the scenes of what exactly is CGI and not CGI with this thing, because I was speaking to my brother, who I went to the cinema to see with, and he told me that he watched something, or he read something, that the car chase scene, especially with the car jumping through the flames, was mainly practical as well. So I definitely can't wait to see the behind the scenes. I love to see movies where you don't realise there's CGI in it, and then and it's like, wow, I got a feeling there's a bit of CGI in this. I'd like to see exactly what it is. I love the tone of the movie as well, especially the beginning, where Batman's giving a little monologue about the crime in the city, and you see a few crimes happening, and when they look up and see the bat signal, they have a look in the shadows, and they think, oh, Batman's going to be in there, so they run off. They run off in another direction where there's more light, let's say. And when you first see Batman, where you've seen it in the trailers, when he beats the crap out of the guys with the face paint on the train station and all that. It is. So when they go on like that, they're just about to beat up someone, they turn, they see the thing, all you hear is footsteps, and he comes out of the shadows. So that's a very good, and he's more brutal and all that, bit more realistic fighting style, I think, not so much karate and all that. It's just more brutality and all that. He takes a lot more hits, but he's got the armour on the suit and all that. And my last positive is the music. I'm definitely getting this as a soundtrack and all that. It is a brilliant soundtrack, and it fits this movie perfectly. in my eyes and that. And yeah, I definitely can't wait to watch this movie again. I can't. And it gives a few hints of what's going to happen in the future. There's a little scene in the jail and all that where you hear someone. I'm not going to spoil who you think it is or who it's going to be and all that, but if I got to be Barry Keoghan or someone like that, he played one of the Eternals in Marvel. He plays this unseen Arkham prisoner and that. So, but you know, I think Robert Pattinson has come out and said if they do the next movie, which I'm guessing they will, definitely be doing another one for this. He would like to do the Court of Owls, which is another New 52, the first volume of the Batman's New 52, which is a brilliant read. So I would love to see their take on the Court of Owls. So I give this movie I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, a few little nitpicks, which I'm not too fussed about, but I don't class it. My personal favourite for the Batman series is Batman Begins. I think it balances the comic book and how good the movie is and the Batman and stuff, and it is passed perfectly in that movie. I know a lot of people are going to say, obviously Dark Knight with the Joker and all that is probably better made movie overall, but my personal favourite is Batman Begins. Don't get me wrong, like the Tim Burton ones are always up there with me. Like I love Batman Returns as well. I think that's a brilliant movie. I think he mastered more of the comic book style of Gotham, more than Batman, unfortunately, you know, in them. But there's still I personally only think there's one bad Batman movie, and that's Batman and Robin. There's still a bad movie. Like Batman Forever has its good parts. Val Kilmer's great as well, but overall, this is another cracking addition to the Batman movies, especially the live action ones. It is. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and tell me what you thought of the Batman, or if you're going to go and see it. And if you'd like to see more reviews, I guess, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.